Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here and supporting Kyle tonight. This is very important to us. I will be introducing to you the speakers. We have 3 speakers this night. And the first speaker we have is Sean Matthews. Matthews served in the United States Army as an infantry officer for 9 years. He did 2 combat tours to Iraq. Mr. Matthews is currently an active law enforcement officer in Maryland, where he has served the past 11 years. He is also a professor for the Institute on the Constitution on the Biblical and American View of Law and Government. Please help me welcome Sean Matthews.
I'm short, so I got to move around a little bit, so get out from behind the podium. I just want to share a couple things about how I met Kyle, what I do. As you heard, I served this country. I was Army infantry officer, did 2 tours in Iraq, served about 9 years, and now I'm current active law enforcement and have done that for the past 11 years or so. I also teach with a little organization as a hobby. It's called Institute on the Constitution. It's founded by one of the gentlemen who's running currently for the Attorney General for the state of Maryland, Michael Peruka. So that man knows his stuff. If you haven't voted yet, he's definitely the guy you want, because he knows the Constitution, and he's out there trying to change things at the local level for our state as well, so just like Kyle's doing. But just real quick, I don't want to take up too much time because we've got other speakers, everybody's in here. I just want to kind of give you a little story about how we met Kyle. So my wife, Christina, and I, we got involved with Institute on the Constitution. I found out, I served my country for 9 years. I swore an oath to the Constitution. I've seen men and women die for this country and for the God-given rights that we have in this country. I've pulled those men and women out of vehicles destroyed and decimated and brought them home to their families, because that's the least I can do, and that they made the ultimate sacrifice for us. And now, as a law enforcement officer, I've again found myself sworn oath to the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution of the state of Maryland. So I found out during the corona virus, and just prior to that with all the election shenanigans going on prior to 2020, myself and my wife were talking about the Constitution and how I swore an oath to God to this thing, to uphold, defend it, and support it, and I didn't know what it was. I thought I knew. I'm a Second Amendment guy. I'm good with that. I think I know what I'm talking about. I didn't. And we sought out a course, and we came to Institute on the Constitution, and I'm an affiliate with them, so I teach with them. And our pastor at our church is also the senior instructor there with Institute on the Constitution. But we learned this stuff. We sat down, learned the U.S. Constitution, and then we learned the Maryland Constitution. And then we branched out, and I wanted to teach it to other people because I thought it vitally necessary. I look at our politicians and our citizens in our state and our country, and I realize that people don't really know this stuff. This is the contract that binds us with our government. This is the contract that tells our government what the rules of the game are. And I found that if I didn't know the rules, how many other people out here don't know the rules and how to hold these people, these corrupt people, and these immoral people, these ungodly people and unfaithful people accountable? So I ventured out and we started teaching, and we've done a couple classes and and have done this for the last year or two, teaching around the state of Maryland, Southern Maryland, Eastern Shore, all that stuff. Well, we're driving home one night last summer from teaching a class, and the governor's race is starting to ramp up, and Christina, from a mutual friend of ours in one of the classes, found this guy, Kyle, and he's on some podcast, and he's sitting there doing a talk with them and talking about how he's going to run for governor, and this is what he's saying. And everything this guy said, it was unscripted. It was from the heart. He was talking about his faith. He was talking about his patriotism. He's talking about what he believed in. He didn't need somebody to tell him these things. These things were given to him by the Holy Spirit and by God himself. And this guy has put himself out there to run for a political position, which is, let me just tell you, it's probably horrible. I would never find myself doing it at all. I don't know anybody else in this room other than that guy right there, Andy Cool, is running as well. So, it's a lot. It takes a lot to do this stuff, and to do this stuff fighting these corrupt political machines. So we saw this podcast on the way home, and we were thoroughly impressed, because you hear all these other people out here who've been in politics. They're greasy, oily lawyers. I'm sorry, is any lawyers out there? Raise your hand if you're a lawyer. Any lawyers? No? All right. Yeah. So So I just see these career politicians, and they're so fake. They give us these false promises, and they go up there and they do absolutely nothing but to further their own ambition, their own greed, their own power. But then I see this guy and others out here who are running that aren't doing that. They're going out there for us. They are people built from the ground up, business owners, your average citizens, people that really care about what's going on in this country and this state. So we reached out to Kyle, and sorry, Kyle, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of history. We reached out to Kyle. We said we built a list of questions for people that we would put out in our class on how to vet your candidates and sheriffs and sheriff candidates if they really know the Constitution. They claim to be Mr. or Mrs. Constitutional. Well, let's give you some easy questions, like how many constitutions do we have in the state of Maryland, and what year is the current Constitution we function on? Just easy lowball questions. And we emailed these questions to Kyle, and Kyle was probably the only guy that gave an email back, and he took an attempt and answered those questions. And of some of those questions he did not know, he said, I don't know. I need to learn this. And so eventually we reached out to Kyle and talked to him, and I offered to teach him about the Constitution one-on-one and give him my knowledge and endow him with the knowledge I know. And I'm no expert. I won't claim ever to be an expert. But the man humbled himself, and he was able to admit that just like me, I didn't know everything. When I swore an oath to the Constitution, I put my life on the line, and I saw other people put their lives on the line. And he humbled himself and was willing to come and say, hey, I don't know this stuff. Are you willing to help me out and teach me? And I said, absolutely. And right now, that's where we are. We've already done the U.S. Constitution course. I don't see any politicians out here for the state, for the county, really humbling themselves. And this is what it's all about. Somebody who can't humble themselves, there's somebody that doesn't know their own flaws and take measures to correct those flaws. But this guy right here, Kyle Sefcik, he is willing to do that. And this is why I've found this guy is probably is the guy I'm going to vote for when it comes to the elections, because I see this guy's heart. He's got faith. He's got everything. The foundation that we need to get back into our country, number one, is faith. That's number one. That's the building block. Number two, our families. And number 3 and 4 are the state and the federal and the U.S. Constitution. We got to know these things because these are the rules. But this guy right here has humbled himself. He's learning. He's growing. He's doing a lot. He speaks from the heart. And that is one guy that I want to give a round of applause to. So give Kyle a big round of applause here. I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to wrap it up here. But I want to say, for anybody who has any kind of running for office political aspirations, as long as you do it for the right reason, win, lose, or draw, you're out here for us, for the people. You're out here with faith in God. That is your backbone. That is your foundation. And that's what you need to run with. And then you got to have a firm understanding of the rules, which are the constitutions. And Kyle is that guy, and he's getting there with all that knowledge, and I'm teaching it to him. So for the first part, we got to finish up the Maryland course, which is very long, but he's got a certificate here from the Institute on the Constitution for completing the U.S. Constitution course, signed by the founder, Michael Peruka, who's running for the Attorney General. So Kyle, I'd like to present this to you. Photograph moment. You got to come in front. So hold that. Good to go. And I just want to thank him. I want to thank my brother here for humbling himself and for reaching out and for being willing to learn and grow and be the man that we need to be in the governor's office or any other political position that represents us, the people. And I want to thank him for that. One more round of applause, and I'm done. Thank you, guys.
We have our next speaker, Mr. William Newton. He is the former second vice chair of the Baltimore County Republican Central Committee and member of its executive board. He is the former chairman of Organization and Rules Subcommittee. He was elected representative councilman of District 3. He is founder chairman of the Maryland Republican State Election Integrity Committee. Mr. Newton was also a candidate for the U.S. Congress. He was recently a contributor to the Presidential Advisory Commission on the Election Integrity. Trump administration. Newton is a research investigation consultant with Maryland 2020 Watch, which is Maryland's only nonpartisan election integrity watchdog organization. Finally, Mr. Newton is the year's 2022 Republican nominee for Maryland State Senate. Let's hear it for Mr. William Newton.
Well, there are people that know me, and they know I don't give speeches. I'll write them. I'll take pictures of them. But I don't do the speeches. But what I would like to say one thing here. After 35 years knocking around in this genre, that's what I used to look like. This is what I look like now. So you got the past and the future.
It's a good sign.
Not that I have any special affection for Kyle, but anyway, I wrote a book a little while back called Lamb of Liberty. And the premise behind the title was that not too often you find people ready to sacrifice themselves on the altar of politics. It's brutal, it's bloody, it's no place for anybody. Every once in a while somebody comes along, like Kyle. That's courage. That's courage right there. I pride myself on knowing a lot about politics, and I was spinning a dial looking at who's who and who's filed and all that, and his name pops up, and somehow or another I stumbled into that first video. Now I know you all seen that first video. That was the most heart-wrenching, most professional, from the heart, honest sleeve thing that I've ever seen in my life. I told him immediately, we contacted him. I said, don't say another word, don't do another video, don't go out anywhere, stay home. Because that was the seller, man, that was it. Well, he said when he was putting this event together, he wanted me to come out and talk for about 5 minutes. I don't do that. And I figured, after I got done talking about Kyle, what would I do with the other 4 minutes and 45 seconds, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. So I got to thinking maybe I should talk about me, but the one thing you should know about me, you can find as Newton, like figs or Isaac Wayne juice, Newton1776.com, and I am your 2022 nominee for Maryland State Senate District 10. Because nobody had the nerve to challenge me. Now let me tell you, as a former member of leadership in the Republican Party, I fully, 100%, wholeheartedly, I'm all in for Kyle. And parties be damned, he's a man of the people, and they're few and far between these days when it comes to politics. Thank you very much.
And our final speaker is Andy Cool. He is a father, patriot, blue-collar worker, lifelong resident of Baltimore County, has law enforcement family, and a campaign consultant. Andy is a pupil of Institute on the Constitution. He's not a politician. He is a citizen journalist and a member of the CSPOA, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace of Officers of America. Andy is pro-life. He wants to restore our great constitutional republic. Finally, he is the year's Republican nominee for Baltimore Sheriff. Let's hear for the next Sheriff of Baltimore, Andy Cool.
Thank you, everyone. We got to get a little more hyped up in here. This is Kyle's campaign kickoff event. So who is more grounded in God, country, and freedom than this guy? Let's hear it for Kyle right now, as loud as you can. Let's do it. Yes. Kyle is an amazing person. We met, I think it was back in October. He found out I sued the governor of Maryland and the entire General Assembly. And he met a friend of a friend, and we got hooked up, and he said, how'd you do that, man? I want to do that. So we talked about the Constitution. We talked about old common law things we don't practice in society anymore. And we became friends. We shared personal experiences. I don't want to take too much time here. I just want to get the point across that Kyle and I are just regular guys. We are there for you. He brought all of you here tonight because he loves you, just the same as God loves you. And Kyle will continue to do that around the state of Maryland. And I wholeheartedly believe that he will win the governor of Maryland. Amen, brother. But Kyle and I, we got together and we started putting our brains together and say, how do we change this? How do we affect this? And we started trusting each other. We started bouncing all these things off each other, questions. Oh, what about this guy? What about that girl? But it all kind of centered on, well, if you trust him, I trust him. If you trust her, I trust her. It's not too often that you have a symbiotic relationship with governmental officers. And we aren't politicians. We don't ever aspire to be them. But we have been injured. Everybody in this room has been injured by your tyrannical government. And we just stepped up to the plate because we wanted to get a solution for it. So Kyle and I, we're continuing our relationship. We might be becoming best friends soon, I don't know. But yeah, we're getting stuff done. We're getting this done right now. He brought all of you God-fearing and God-loving people together, and that's where this country is based on, Judeo-Christian principles. Yes, amen. That's how we win this war, and that's what Kyle needs. That's what any constitutional candidate that you hear about needs, is your prayers more than anything. Not your money, not your sign waving, your volunteerism, which is great. It all helps, it certainly does. But the most important weapon that we have is the power of prayer. So, again, Kyle, an amazing, motivated person. I've never heard a candidate speak like he does. I mean, you guys notice it in the room, right? When he gets up here and his eyes roll back in his head and he's just envisioning the whole thing happening before him. That's because he let Jesus into his life. He let God into his life. And God has brought all of us together. He certainly works in mysterious ways. So his motivation, his dedication, his will to serve the people of Maryland will continue when he's elected and long after that. So one more time, let's give it up for our next governor, Kyle Sefcik. Yeah, come here. You got my complete and full endorsement, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you for every single person that has come here tonight. Our group is small, but we are strong and we are together, and this is the only way for us to win this. So thank you very much to all the speakers and for each person that took the time to be here. It is with much joy that I introduce to you the next governor of Maryland, Kyle Sefcik.
Test, check. So, a year ago, I announced I was running for governor, and I didn't know what to expect. For those of you that have had God tell you to do something, and you didn't understand it, you might have not even wanted to do it, but you still followed through with it. You know how that ends. Awesome. Not just one big thing, grand finale, but little things and big things along that journey. You're like, oh, now I get why you had me there. Now I get why you had me do that. Now you get why I'm doing this and this and this. And I'm telling you right now, ever since I announced that I was running for governor as unaffiliated, reminder, I have a journal, and I have two journals now because it's so full of just blessings and lessons and all these things that keep happening. The right people coming into my life, Me getting out of other things that I've had part of my life. It's happening. I'm seeing it. I don't know what the final picture is yet, but there's something being built straight up. So why I have you guys here with me today is because I had to think about who are people in my life that I feel I can, one, trust. One that has been there for me in more ways than you know. There might be a couple of people here like, man, I barely see Kyle. I see him like once a year and we talk maybe every few months. But I promise you only like 5 or 6 people didn't show up. Those are the only amount of people I really showed up that I invited. So first, I have to be honest with you guys about like what you guys in this room have been to me. Yeah, we're videotaping and there's people watching right now, but there's people in this room that I had to have here because I just needed realness in my life, because I told my family, as I've told other people, I don't want to do this run. I don't want to do this political stuff if I can't be myself and speak from the heart. I didn't plan any part of the speech today. I said, I'm going to go speak whatever I need to, that I feel I need to say, because it's easier that way. And people are just going to know, hey, at least that dude was real and honest, and he's not going to be lying to us. He's not playing the same game. And I hear it from all these other people that want to impress me in the world, right? Because I go to all these political things now, and these people just come to you, and they want to get your hand in the pocket. They want to make you think they're friends with you, and they're cool with you. And that's literally the game that I'm finding in politics. Everything you hear about it, it is like that, except for more. I just don't share all about it. I journal about it. Maybe I'll write about it one day. But it really is what you hear about politics, about how you can't trust people and how dirty it gets and how it's all crap. I'm telling you, as somebody who's in the gubernatorial election, I'm telling you straight up, it is that bad and that crazy. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. And that's why I truly believe the world's going where it's at, is we have all these people in politics and leading our country that have no morals, no foundation, and it is drastically changing, dramatically changing, exponentially changing right now at a rate that we all see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's happening. And there's people that just choose not to see it, or you know what, and it's getting worse and worse. Turn on your TV when you go home and look at the news. Look at what's going on. Every day it's getting dramatically worse, and people are like, oh, it's so messed up. But they're not doing anything about it. They're doing nothing about it. So as I started running, when I launched this last July, I just started going, like I told you guys, I don't care what people think about me anymore. I just want to speak truth. I'm in prayer. I'm in the Bible all day. I'm in fellowship with the right people. I know where I stand. So when I led the Defeat the Mandates walk in D.C. that had 17,000 people, I saw God show up and saw what he was doing with that. Then you guys know about the Freedom Convoy, what happened with that. It got so big, you saw me on all these late night news shows, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, just blasting me, making fun of me to millions of people. And I remember turning to Alyssa and saying, yes, it's happening. It's there. I see what God is up to. Most people will be like, oh, are you okay, Kyle? To me, that was a huge, awesome sign that that's where we're at. I'm doing the right things, and this evil, bad side is against me. I know I'm fighting for the right things now. I know I am, and you're going to keep going there. The things I post, and it gets all this, riffraff and all this. But I'm posting the truth, and I'm going to stand behind that because I don't care what people say about me. I'm going to be the one fighting and doing the right things. I am. You know it. Like, I am going to show it. I've proven it with every part of my life, and it's led to here. And I've always wondered, like, why was I so dabbled in so many different communities? Why did I do so many different events, so many partnerships with so many different types of people all over? And I see it now. God was waiting for me to really find him, go all in with him. And I had to, as many of you know, I had to go through a bad patch a few years ago, and here we are right now. So we're not going to be doing a lot of these rallies. We're not going to be doing the whole political game. All these, like as I was telling you earlier, these people come up to me and they say, Kyle, you have to do this. You got to play their game. You have to do what this is the game. If you want to win, this is what they do. Listen, and I say, I want no part of that. I want no part of that. That's just what I say. Respectfully, I just want no part of that game. I'm running into it. Oh, but then you're not going to win. I'd rather lose. I'd rather lose doing the right things, standing on the right things, not playing, not announcing how much money I have in the bank. We are now 5 million. We have raised 5 million. That just shows how much people love us. But it's corporate. Look where it's going. You guys can look up the money. I ain't got that money in there because I haven't asked for a donation yet. But these people are bragging about the money they have, the endorsements they have by these other politician leaders that have already been screwing us. It's the truth. Once again, I'm standing up here today as a gubernatorial candidate in the general election. I know what is happening. I am on that inside now, seeing what is happening, and we'll be telling you guys really what is happening in the truth, especially when I win governor of Maryland, and I'm able to tell you, hey guys, remember that money they told you that was going there? Well, it's really going here. We all want to know where all the money's been going. We all want to know where all the decisions are being made. There's no one fighting for what's right. And I'm running as unaffiliated for governor because I don't trust any parties. They've all failed me. They have all failed me, especially the last 2 years as a small business owner and father. They have failed me. I'm not speaking as someone who I'm just going to sound good up here and just say things that really bring power. I am telling you things from experience, from real experience. Spending time in the courthouses during the pandemic dealing with my rights, my God-given rights, going after things, doing the rallies, the protests, not just in D.C., but locally, Frederick, Montgomery County. I've been out there. You can't say I haven't been fighting for your children, for your businesses. You can't say that. You can't say that. I've been that person putting myself out there, and I don't say that to be cocky. I say this because I'm very confident with who I am now. If I did this 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even ran 2 years ago because I was still playing with certain sin. Well, number one, I shouldn't have been. Playing with certain things I was distracted by other things, but I'm standing up here today as someone who literally I'm so confident with who I am right now. I'm ready to be that person to lead a state. I'm not going to mess up and you find me in some scandal or some smear or this or that. It's not going to happen. I'm focused. And you guys know, my friends and family here that know, from whatever background that we've had, when I focus on something and go after it, you know what happens. So I'm not worried about the W or the L that comes from this election. I know there's bigger things being built right now and set up right now. And it's happening, it's seeing it. You guys just hear a little bit about it. But I'm telling you, every day there's more and more blessings and more knowledge and more things that God's like, hey, you're doing it right. Keep going. Keep speaking the truth. That things are going to come. I tell you guys this now because you guys are going to keep seeing it. Because you guys are going to be part of this journey. So I'm going to share a few more things real fast. One, when it comes to your children, those of you that have children and your grandchildren, there is no better candidate. I am a father of 2 little boys, 5 and 7 years old. Where do you think my focus is? Where do you think, my favorite things in this world, the best things to me in this world are my 2 little baby boys. Don't you want a father leading the state when it comes to safety and security of the state? When you see how dangerous and how messed up the world is getting with these kids and adults? As a brother to someone who's an elementary school teacher, don't you think that I have the teachers in mind and school staff and public, private, whatever type of schools? Don't you think that I have the best intentions for these schools and children? Not the ones talking about, guys, all these other people that are going to be running, they're really good at speaking, and you know what I want you guys to watch? They will be reading off of this or a teleprompter. I will always be speaking of what I know and the truth. So when it comes to your children's future, and I'm that person that's going to make sure that we have the safest state, the best education for these kids in the state. There's a lot of hurting kids out there. And as you guys know, I've been helping these kids my entire life through my nonprofits and events. There's people here today that have supported, whether they've sponsored or teamed up with me. You know my heart is there. Then you think about small businesses. Started my first one when I was 19 years old, and you guys have all seen from there, 5 or 6 LLCs and some other sole proprietorships that I've built all over small business world. It wasn't like, oh, he just stayed in the fitness world. We're doing all types of stuff all over the place. Different types of businesses. I've learned so much in every avenue. Who else can say that they have all this credibility when it comes to small businesses? You small business owners, entrepreneurs, whether you're in high school right now trying to be an entrepreneur, have no idea what you're doing, or if you've been a small business owner your whole life, who do you think is going to make sure that our small businesses are taken care of? Who do you think knows all the crap we have to go through just to make ends meet for our family and the struggles and the hassles that come with it because of the government? Taxes. I've already promised there will never be anything that I sign as governor that will raise taxes no matter what it is for. I will never raise taxes. You have my word. Little by little, they've chipped at all these different taxes. Ask a local small business owner or property owner or whatever it might be. They're taxing you on your tax on the it's insane. And they know that most people just don't look how deep into it. They just keep surrendering and surrendering and surrendering. And we wonder why in America we are at the biggest hole we've ever been in. And people will keep talking about it until they realize, oh crap, how to get here. And if you read the Bible, you know where that's headed. Who do you think has your best intentions? Who's half the age of everybody running? Who has energy? Who has health? Who has, thank you for, I think it was Willie or Chris mentioned, no, it was Sean, humble. I am humble, guys. I will admit my mistakes, and I need you guys to help me learn stuff. That's why I ask you guys questions and help for certain things. I'm telling you this once again, not out of cockiness, because I have to make sure people know where I stand. I am the person Maryland needs. I'm positive. I wouldn't be wasting my time, my own money, my own energy on this if I didn't know 100% I was supposed to do this. I am that person for Maryland. We cannot keep voting in the same, you can't keep voting in Republican, Democrat, this, that. You can't do that anymore, guys. I'm running as unaffiliated, not Republican, Democrat, not even independent, because Maryland Board of Elections took independent off of the ballot. I can't even run as that. I'm not going to spend a whole half hour telling you what's going on, guys, but Board of Elections is absolutely insane how they treat people that aren't part of the system. Once again, I'm telling you as somebody who is in the gubernatorial election with my certification of candidacy for the general election for governor of Maryland. I know firsthand how they have treated me, trying to keep me off of the ballot because I don't serve a party that plays the game because they all win. I want to remind every single person in here, all the parties, they all win regardless of who wins or loses. They're getting money in, they're getting power, and it's happening, and they want to keep me out of that mix. So write in or on the ballot, I'm there. Doesn't matter. Other than that, I want you guys to make some noise for my lieutenant governor, who I'm going to be introducing. Katie Lee, make some noise for Katie Lee. So she is my official lieutenant governor. You'll be hearing more from her as we move forward. But like I said, guys, I didn't come up here to plan speeches, but I just wanted to remind you guys, I am that person to lead a state with where the world is going. Make no mistake. The world is going to continue to get worse. We cannot save the world. We will not save the world. But I will make sure that the state of Maryland puts God first, and you will see blessings and miracles happening in the state of Maryland. People will wonder, oh, what's going on in Maryland? Well, seriously, when I'm governor, guys, you will see the world continue to fall apart as you can't change that. You can't at this point in life think that we're going to be able to save what's going on. It's so far gone. And if you read the Bible, you know where it's headed regardless. But as a Christian, as someone who fears God and knows what he has to do, I'm going to make sure that Maryland is that stronghold, the safest state in Maryland, has the right morals, is doing the right things in schools and education and business, where people are going to want to come to, especially when the final days are coming. Oh, some people are going to watch this video later and be like, oh man, listen to this guy talk about like, we can't say. Worse is coming. Worse is coming in the country and in the world. And I just want to make sure that our friends, our families, our businesses, we're taken care of in the right way, and I will be that person. So like I said, you guys, I didn't plan a speech real fast to do this. I just wanted to share my heart with you guys, whatever God put on my heart. I appreciate the people that came here today, because like I said, I recorded this video that I will share later. But for you guys to come out and have been such a big part of my life, it means a lot, because politics is very lonely. It gets very lonely and very, like when you're just by yourself, you know? I mean, listen to kids, like how much we have to go through with all types of things. From them the Board of Elections finding me a crazy, insane amount of money for not putting at the end of an email, Kyle Sefcik for governor. They're fining me money for not putting Kyle Sefcik for governor at the end of an email. Just that alone, I can name many other things of what they've been doing to me. It's just that, but also the things you get from just trolls. Then people you've actually known through the years that finally express that hate that they have for you. Why does this guy continue to be successful? Why does he keep being blessed? Why does he keep getting lifted up? Who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening. I have to deal with people that I've had to drop out of partnerships with, business with, people that we've worked together for years, and people just step out because of where I'm standing and they can't stand with me. So when I say it means a lot to me that you guys show up, will stand in front of me and behind me from what I'm trying to do, with the threats that come after me, with them coming after my business during this whole pandemic. I'm the guy who stayed open. Many people are here today. I kept the gym open, my business open, when they tried to tell me. They came to my place of business, as many of people here know. They showed up and tried to tell me, you can't have open your place of business, the place that you built, the place that you pay for, the place that is your home. I'm there more than my home. So I had people showing up to my door saying, you can't be open. Oh, and by the way, everybody has to wear this. But it's just me and my kids in here right now. No, they have to wear a mask. Once again, I said no. That was me. Over and over and over, I stood strong. When they threatened to arrest me, fine me, which they tried, but thank God to the Constitution, that didn't happen. I've been studying the Constitution. I know my God-given rights, and as you guys keep studying the Bible and the Constitution, you will see they go hand in hand. Do not let people trick you. Do not let the world keep telling you lies. They go hand in hand. This is a Christian country, and when you have God at the forefront and you speak the name of Jesus, ooh, you guys are going to see special things happen in Maryland. My name is Kyle Sefcik, and I'm running for Maryland as unaffiliated. And we're going to make a lot of noise, and we're going to be a huge problem for the establishment. God bless. Thanks.
Thank you. This is very heartwarming. Just to emphasize, this campaign will go as far as God allows it to go, because we don't have the money to push it forward. So if you feel in your heart that you want to spread Kyle's name, make sure to say he is a write-in. His name is spelled Kylesefcik, because the world is trying to make him feel ashamed. Is trying to silence people like Kyle by making it known that he's actually a write-in. But we actually take pride in that, because it means that it's not a politician that is standing up for us. It's just a regular person, and I am personally honored and proud of him for that. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and thank you very much.